Jorge Mario Bergoglio, the future Pope Francis, was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, on December 17, 1936. His birth marked the beginning of a journey that would take him from the bustling streets of Buenos Aires to the heart of the Vatican. His parents, Mario and Regina, were Italian immigrants. They had left their homeland in search of a better life, bringing with them the rich cultural heritage of Italy. They instilled in him the values of hard work and humility. These values were not just taught but lived daily, as the family worked together to build a new life in a foreign land. Young Jorge grew up in a modest home in the Flores neighborhood. The house was simple, reflecting the family's humble means, but it was filled with love and warmth. Life was simple, but it fostered a strong sense of community and faith. The neighborhood was a close-knit community where everyone knew each other and supported one another. The Bergoglio family regularly attended Mass at their local parish. The church was not just a place of worship, but a cornerstone of their social life. Jorge was an altar boy and developed a deep connection to the Catholic Church. Serving at the altar, he learned the rituals and traditions that would later become central to his life. He was known for his kindness and compassion, always willing to lend a helping hand to those in need. His empathy was evident even at a young age, as he often went out of his way to assist others. His empathy for the poor and marginalized would later become a defining characteristic of his papacy. This early exposure to the struggles of others shaped his worldview and his future mission. Even as a young man, Jorge displayed a keen intellect and a thirst for knowledge. He was an avid reader and a diligent student, always eager to learn more about the world around him. He excelled in his studies and pursued a degree in chemistry. His academic achievements were a testament to his dedication and hard work. However, he felt a higher calling. Despite his success in the field of chemistry, he sensed that his true purpose lay elsewhere. He sensed a deep yearning to dedicate his life to God and the service of others. This inner calling grew stronger with each passing day, leading him to contemplate a life of religious devotion. This led him to make a life-altering decision. After much reflection and prayer, he decided to follow his spiritual calling. In 1958, at the age of 21, Jorge Mario Bergoglio entered the Society of Jesus, more commonly known as the Jesuits. This was a significant step, marking the beginning of his religious journey. This decision marked the beginning of his journey towards a life beyond imagination, a path that would eventually lead him to the highest position in the Catholic Church. His early years in the Jesuit order were filled with rigorous training, spiritual growth, and a deepening commitment to his faith and service. The Society of Jesus, founded by Saint Ignatius of Loyola, is a religious order known for its intellectual rigor and commitment to social justice. Established in the 16th century, the Jesuits have played a pivotal role in the history of the Catholic Church, emphasizing education, missionary work, and the promotion of social equity. The Jesuits are renowned for their dedication to scholarly pursuits, often engaging in deep intellectual discussions and rigorous academic studies. Their educational institutions are among the most respected in the world, fostering a culture of critical thinking and ethical reflection. Beyond academia, the Jesuits are deeply committed to social justice, working tirelessly to address issues of poverty, inequality, and human rights. Their mission is to serve the marginalized and advocate for systemic change. Joining the Jesuits was a demanding choice, requiring a life of poverty, chastity, and obedience. This path is not for the faint-hearted, as it demands a profound commitment to spiritual and communal life. The vows taken by Jesuit novices are solemn and binding, symbolizing their total dedication to the order and its mission. These vows are a testament to their willingness to live a life of simplicity and service. For Jorge Mario Bergoglio, the future Pope Francis, it was a perfect fit. He found in the Jesuit order a community that resonated with his values and aspirations. He embraced the Jesuit values wholeheartedly, dedicating himself to a life of contemplation, education, and service. His spiritual journey was deeply influenced by the Jesuit emphasis on discernment and finding God in all things. He took the name Francisco, in honor of Saint Francis of Assisi, the patron saint of the poor and animals. This choice reflected his deep admiration for Saint Francis's humility, simplicity, and love for creation. Saint Francis of Assisi's legacy of caring for the poor and advocating for the voiceless deeply inspired Jorge. He sought to embody these values in his own ministry. Francis excelled in his studies at the seminary, demonstrating a keen intellect and a passion for learning. His academic pursuits were not just about acquiring knowledge, but also about deepening his understanding of faith and humanity. He immersed himself in theology, philosophy, and literature, exploring the depths of human thought and spirituality. His studies equipped him with the tools to engage with the world thoughtfully and compassionately. He was ordained as a priest on December 13, 1969, at the age of 33. This marked the beginning of his formal ministry, a journey that would take him to the highest echelons of the Catholic Church. His humility and compassion shone through in his ministry. He was known for his gentle demeanor and his ability to connect with people from all walks of life. His pastoral work was characterized by a deep empathy for the suffering and a relentless commitment to providing comfort and support to those in need. He served as a professor of literature and psychology, sharing his knowledge and wisdom with his students. His teaching was not just about imparting information, but also about inspiring a love for learning and a commitment to social justice. His students admired him for his intellectual rigor and his ability to make complex ideas accessible and relevant to their lives. Father Bergoglio's commitment to social justice led him to work with the poor and marginalized in the slums of Buenos Aires. He believed that true faith must be lived out in service to others, especially the most vulnerable. He witnessed firsthand the devastating effects of poverty and inequality, which only strengthened his resolve to fight for justice and dignity for all. He became a vocal advocate for the voiceless, challenging those in power to address the systemic issues that perpetuated injustice. His advocacy was rooted in a deep sense of moral responsibility and a desire to create a more equitable society. He tirelessly worked to raise awareness about social issues, encouraging others to join him in the fight for a just and compassionate world. His leadership qualities were quickly recognized. He was known for his ability to inspire and mobilize others, fostering a sense of community and shared purpose. He was appointed provincial superior of the Jesuits in Argentina in 1973, a position of significant responsibility within the order. This role allowed him to influence the direction of the Jesuit mission in the region. As provincial superior, he provided guidance and support to his fellow Jesuits, helping them navigate the challenges of their ministry. Despite facing challenges during a turbulent period in Argentina's history, Father Bergoglio remained steadfast in his faith and commitment to justice. He navigated the complexities of this era with wisdom and courage. Father Bergoglio's resilience and unwavering dedication to his mission were evident in his actions. He continued to serve the people with unwavering dedication, providing spiritual and practical support during difficult times. His legacy as a Jesuit priest is marked by his profound commitment to social justice, education, and compassionate service. He remains an inspiring figure for many, embodying the Jesuit ideals of faith, justice, and love for humanity. In 1998, Father Bergoglio was appointed Archbishop of Buenos Aires. This appointment marked a significant turning point in his life and the lives of many in Buenos Aires. As Archbishop, he was not just a religious leader, but a beacon of hope for the downtrodden and marginalized communities. He continued his work with the poor, often visiting the slums and advocating for their needs. His presence in these impoverished areas was not just symbolic, it was a testament to his commitment to social justice and human dignity. He worked tirelessly to improve living conditions and provide spiritual and material support to those in need. He lived a simple life, eschewing the luxuries often associated with high-ranking clergy. His humble lifestyle was a reflection of his deep-rooted belief in living a life of service and humility. He often said that the church should be poor and for the poor, and he led by example. He chose to live in a modest apartment, cooked his own meals, and took public transportation. This was not just a personal choice but a powerful statement against the excesses and privileges often associated with high ecclesiastical office. His actions resonated deeply with the people, who saw in him a true servant of God. His humility and commitment to the poor endeared him to the people of Buenos Aires. He was not just a distant figurehead, but a part of the community, sharing in their joys and sorrows. His approachable nature and genuine concern for others made him a beloved figure in the city. In 2001, he was elevated to the College of Cardinals by Pope John Paul II. This elevation was a recognition of his tireless work and his unwavering commitment to the principles of the Church. As a cardinal, he continued to advocate for the poor and marginalized, using his new position to amplify their voices. Cardinal Bergoglio's reputation for humility, intellect, and compassion spread throughout the Church. He was known not just for his pastoral work, but also for his deep theological insights and his ability to connect with people from all walks of life. His teachings emphasized the importance of mercy, compassion, and social justice. He was seen as a voice of reform and renewal. His progressive views and his willingness to challenge the status quo made him a leading figure in the movement for change within the Church. He called for a church that was more inclusive, more compassionate, and more attuned to the needs of the modern world. When Pope Benedict XVI unexpectedly resigned in 2013, the world watched with anticipation as the College of Cardinals gathered in the Sistine Chapel to elect a new leader for the Catholic Church. This was a moment of great uncertainty and hope, as people wondered who would lead the Church into the future. On March 13, 2013, white smoke billowed from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel, signaling the election of a new pope. The world held its breath, waiting to see who would emerge as the new spiritual leader of over 1 billion Catholics. The world held its breath as Cardinal Jean-Louis Tauran stepped onto the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica and uttered the words, "Annuntio vobis gaudium magnum, habemus papam." I announce to you a great joy, we have a pope. The anticipation was palpable and the crowd erupted in joy and applause. The new pope was Jorge Mario Bergoglio, who chose the name Francis in honor of St. Francis of Assisi. This choice was significant, as St. Francis was known for his dedication to poverty, humility, and care for creation. It was a clear indication of the direction Pope Francis intended to take the Church. The election of Pope Francis was a watershed moment in the history of the Catholic Church. It marked the beginning of a new era, one that promised to bring the Church closer to the people and more in tune with the challenges of the modern world. He was the first Jesuit pope, the first Latin American pope, and the first non-European pope in over 1,300 years. These firsts were not just historical footnotes, they represented a significant shift in the Church's identity and its global outreach. His election signaled a new era for the Church, one marked by humility, compassion, and a renewed focus on the poor and marginalized. Pope Francis's leadership has been characterized by a call to return to the core values of the Gospel, emphasizing love, mercy, and justice for all. The Holy See. Often shrouded in mystery, it holds wealth that surprises many. From priceless art collections to vast real estate, the assets are immense. But it's not just about the material value. The historical and cultural significance is, well, beyond measure. You might think the Pope's transportation would be extravagant, but it's quite the opposite. Pope Francis, known for his humility, uses 5 cars. Each one has a story, a purpose. They're not luxury vehicles, but practical and symbolic. The simplicity of his choices reflects his approach to life and leadership. Despite the grandeur that surrounds the papacy, Pope Francis has consistently chosen a path of simplicity. He has shunned the luxurious trappings often associated with his position, opting instead for modest living quarters and simple attire. This choice reflects his deep commitment to humility and his desire to lead by example. Pope Francis's legacy is deeply rooted in compassion and humility. Throughout his tenure, he has prioritized the needs of the poor and marginalized, often visiting those in need and advocating for their rights. His actions and words have inspired millions around the world to embrace a more compassionate and humble way of living. The role of the Pope is one that straddles immense power and profound poverty. Pope Francis navigates this paradox with grace, using his influence to highlight the plight of the less fortunate. He continually calls for economic justice and urges the world to address the systemic issues that perpetuate inequality. Pope Francis's message is clear. It is not enough to simply acknowledge the world's problems, we must act. He calls on each of us to make a difference, no matter how small, in our communities and beyond. His call to action is a powerful reminder that change begins with individual efforts and collective compassion.